Hello everyone, my name is James and welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be discussing whether Max Verstappen would crash Lewis Hamilton off to win the World Championship in Abu Dhabi. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more Formula 1 content, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at James_Formula1, and there'll be a link in the description. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So first of all, let's take a look at the situation in the standings. Going into the last race, Verstappen and Hamilton are level on 369.5 points. So it's a case of whoever beats the other wins the championship. But if you look at the season as a whole, Verstappen has won 9 races and Hamilton has won 8. So should the two not finish in the race on Sunday, then Verstappen will be world champion due to having better results. Now, I raised the question as to whether Verstappen would crash Hamilton off to win the title due to his driving recently. I mean, if we take a look at most of the season, I think we have seen hard but fair racing between them. If we look at races such as Imola and Spain, we saw the two go wheel to wheel at the start of those races, but Verstappen took the lead by staying on the circuit and giving Hamilton a bit of a squeeze on the outside. For me, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I know we saw them crash in Silverstone and Monza, and Hamilton got the blame for the Silverstone crash and Verstappen got the blame for the Monza crash. But for me, it was a case of neither driver willing to yield, which resulted in the crashes. But if we look at Verstappen's driving, it's taken a bit of a turn as we've got to crunch time in the season. In Brazil, we saw Verstappen force Hamilton off the circuit as he tried to go around the outside of him, but also held onto the lead by running himself off the road as well. And then in Saudi Arabia, we saw Hamilton try to go around the outside of Verstappen on lap 37, but Max, like in Brazil, was late on the brakes and ran himself out of road whilst keeping position ahead of Hamilton. Now, we know Max is an aggressive driver, and it's great to see him take the fight to Hamilton this season, but I think it's getting a bit much to keep running himself out of road to keep position. And if you look at the incidents in Brazil and Saudi Arabia, Verstappen was very much putting Hamilton in a place where he was leaving it up to him to decide as to whether they were going to have an accident. We also saw this at one of the restarts in Saudi Arabia, where Max sent it down the inside going into turn 1. If Hamilton had turned in from the outside in any of those incidents and didn't back out, I think in at least one of them there would have been an accident. Now, in my opinion, I think Verstappen will continue this kind of approach going into the last race. As I said earlier, Verstappen knows that if Hamilton and him don't finish, he will be world champion. So honestly, I think we can expect to see some aggressive driving from Verstappen, but I don't think he'd want to crash Hamilton off and would rather see the checkered flag first ahead of Hamilton. I can't see a Senna and Prost incident happening where Senna just went into Prost at the start of the 1990 Japanese Grand Prix by going for a gap that really wasn't there in order to win the championship. But I do think Verstappen will continue these late braking moves, which could see him running himself off the circuit, and if Hamilton is alongside and going into the corner, then a crash is very possible. Now, Hamilton has been very wise to this in previous races, and we have seen him back out and go for a better opportunity later on. And even though this is the title deciding race, I don't think Hamilton would risk trying to go around the outside of Verstappen if he's going aggressive into the corner. I mean, Hamilton knows that if he and Verstappen don't finish, Hamilton will not be world champion. So I think he'd much rather wait for a better opportunity and a less risky one and pass down the straight. But if it comes to the final few laps or even the last lap, then I think Hamilton will have to go for it. He can't risk trying to wait and pass down the straight. I think he'd have to go for it going into the corner. And if that does happen, as I say, I don't think Max would have any of it. He'd be late and aggressive on the brakes, and I think it could result in a crash. So overall, guys, even though I don't want to crash to decide the title, I think extremely hard racing between Verstappen and Hamilton will end up resulting in a crash. But guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And until the next one, take care. Bye.